Hello everybody and welcome to what I strongly suspect to be the final episode of this Stellaris series here. We'll see what we end up replacing it with, but I definitely think that this is going to be it. We'll see. I really don't think it's going to take that long to get through all this. So let's go ahead and hide our civilian ships here. Oh, right. The game ended on 2500. That's the end date there. We're not actually going to care about this. We did win the game, but our actual end game here is finishing this war. So we're definitely going to finish the war. I forgot that the end date was at 2500. Hilarious. Okay, that's fine. We are not currently moving this fleet. Where are we here? We're in Gloas? Sure. Let's jump drive over to Vocon. Let's see. Are they planning... That's only 843. They could win that. We'll come on into Vocon and make sure that it happens. We'll land on Abyssal Anchorage. Cool. So at this point, we've very nearly got this war done, right? It's incredibly close. So we just finished up in Gloas here. We definitely need to land on Gloas 5. So we'll get that done. And then we'll probably head up to, like,
Engaging enemy station.
Is, I think, going to be the goal. And we're just grabbing this territory over here. That'll all be fine. Fantastic. And these guys are just going to slowly make their way back to Ishtari, which will be okay too. Now, at this point, to be clear, I think I will still end the series if the Bill-Nock for some reason do a status quo piece here. Because at that point, we just wait it out. They have almost nothing left. We'd wait it out, crush them in one more war, and there's not a lot of point to that, in my opinion. But hopefully the Bill-Nock will not do that. So we do need to hit Tirsonia. Specifically Laura here. I was hoping that these guys would have dealt with that, but they're maybe not strong enough, so that's okay. We don't need to issue any further orders, really. Other than our armies. We've got the space section of this dealt with, so no problem there. And these guys will be arriving back in Ishtari in 134 days. Sounds good. We can definitely land on Yergfeden when we get there. Cool. Because there are three planets there, rather, not three systems. There are 3 planets there, and we're going to have to get all of those dealt with. Eventually. We don't want to get them dealt with immediately, though, because I want to get the Slurprenor completely under control. So that'll be good. We are landing on Gloas, and that will be done very shortly here. Beautiful. Okay, so their front line is gone, and this will go very quickly. Like 2 more day ticks.
Colony
there we
conquered.
Go. Beautiful. So Gloas is fully under our control conquered. Now. And we are still cooling down on our jump drive. I'm just going to head up to Far Shore here, and we'll just go ahead and land there. Fantastic. So we finished up in Vocon, and we're definitely going to head over to the Abyssal Anchorage. And off we go. That's all we need here, right? Right. And then we'll have to head down over this way, which is slightly awkward in terms of pathing for us. You know, realistically, we should probably come here first. But there's Mufrid here. This is okay. We'll hit Aurora Borealis first, and then go to Kadvi, and then down to Mufrid. That's fine, I think. Okay, so this is all looking absolutely fine. Yeah, we lost control of that due to them controlling the starbase. Not shocking. They're in our Federation, we don't care. Now we are going to have to deal with this situation here. But we should be able to get there reasonably quickly from Slurpacton, is I guess how I'm going to pronounce that. Reasonably quickly. Alternatively, through this gateway here. What can you offer us? A destroyer? No, get out of here. We don't care about that. We will get our fleets reinforced. There we go. But honestly, at this point, space is 1. We just need to land on their locations. We're traveling, for the moment, But we will be landing soon enough. We're landing on Abyssal Anchorage right now, and we're heading up to land on Farshore. So once we take over Seb, the plan here is to jump drive over to Safe and then work our way up through here with that army, while this army clears out all of this, and this army over here gets Ishtari to a point where we can safely say it's going to be done. Now I'm going to go ahead and downgrade this starport. I'm noticing that our energy credits are really starting to tank, so we're going to go around and look for a few of those sorts of starports.
Deploying liberation
There's
forces.
a lot of them up here that we can... No, I don't want to upgrade it. That we can safely downgrade. Cool. Yeah, a lot of these are very solid downgrades. That's a shipyard. I don't mind getting rid of it, though. So that brings us to 82 out of 75. That will improve our income pretty dramatically, actually. We can probably get rid of this one as well. That's completely fine. This seems okay, too. And yeah, we lose control there. That's...
Station under
Wow, look at
attack.
that. 425. We're saving like 3.6k energy credits. I love it. Okay, so that'll do for now. We could definitely get rid of a couple more if we really wanted to. This would be a pretty decent one to get rid of. As with this, actually, we're fine on our naval cap for the moment. So that should do the trick for us. 78 out of 75 should be decent. Okay, so this army isn't doing anything, and we wanted them to come down to Cadv next. So we'll land over here. And how long can their jump drive? 50 days. Sounds good. So that'll be fine. We're landing on Farshore now. To be clear, these guys have already landed. Can we jump drive right now? We can. Kind of an awkward place to jump drive to. But I guess it'll do. We'll see if there's anything there. That could get very awkward. But I don't think there is. We should have sensors there. We definitely should. So we're going to jump on over and head to Safe, because we definitely don't need to land on Seb. So that is all good. Most of our fleets at this point,
Deploying
with the
liberation
exception
forces.
of the third fleet, at this juncture, all of these fleets should be heading over to Shukan. There we go. We'll get them over. Fantastic. I suppose we could automate construction. Not that I necessarily think there's all that much to build. I think there's something over here.
Colony
Yeah,
conquered.
that's fine. Cool. So we got control of Seb, as expected. And how are our armies doing? Okay, we finished up in Ishtari. We definitely need to land over here next. So we'll get that done. We're not going to take over Ish until the very last one. That's the goal here. So that'll be fine. We are going to need to deal with Tirsonia reasonably soon. Okay. We'll be arriving in Safe very, very shortly. And looks like this finished up, so we can just head down over to Glowing K. Beautiful. From there, we should be able to... That's a hyper relay. Trying to see if there's a good way to get over from Mufrid. And we don't want to be paused right now.
Deploying
Get over
liberation
from
forces.
Mufrid over to Tirsonia. I'm not seeing anything immediately evident. There's this wormhole over here, which is probably going to end up being the best way. So from Mufrid, we're going to be able to jump drive up to like here-ish. Maybe to Stellaris. That's my guess. Okay. So we're just finishing up this attack over here.
Colony conquered.
We're going to now land on Yurg Pabdun. Cool. Technically, we could finish that off and then bring these guys over to Tirsonia, because this will be the final Ishni planet.
Deploying liberation forces.
That's an interesting point, actually. Okay. A very interesting point indeed. We definitely want to get these locations taken over very quickly, right? That's definitely something that we want. So there's a few locations here. Only Stillhaven
Colony
here.
conquered.
And in Slurpacton, there's a good amount of them.
Colony
Oh, hello, where are we? I'm not sure. Okay. I don't know why we were looking up there, but sure. We're going to go take over Gleaming Shell next, and these should all go very quickly. So that's good. So we'll go ahead and land on Glowing K here. And then these guys, they could land on Ish at this juncture. Let's do it. We don't have a general, and we could definitely recruit one here. This guy will do. Fantastic. The Slurprenor insulted us. Okay. Good job, Slurprenor. I'm sure you won't regret that in a few
Deploying
minutes.
Liberation forces.
Fantastic. So they've got some robot
Liberation
defense
forces.
armies here, but they're no match for us. Cool.
Deploying Liberation forces.
So this will be absolutely fine. We'll be eliminating these guys, and the only Ishtari location will now be Tirsonia. So that's great. The 10th fleet is apparently something that exists, with 6 corvettes in it, and is missing. Okay. They'll be back in a couple months. Whatever. I don't really care all that much. It's fine. So we're finishing up this invasion.
Colony conquered.
There we go. And that's Mufrid now under our control. So let's jump up to Ampledeer, and then from there we're going to head over to Laura. Now, I don't want to actually land on Laura yet, but I want to start heading over there. Cool. So our colony on Ish is, or rather, not yet our colony on Ish, but soon to be our colony on Ish. It had quite a lot of troops there. That'll take some time to chunk through, but that's okay. And as far as in safe goes...
Colony conquered.
Cool. So that one just finished up, and then we can just grab Stillhaven. So that will flip over fully to us in a moment. We're not expecting Stillhaven to be very difficult. So that's great. Only a couple more
Deploying
locations to
Liberation
get here.
forces.
Apparently the Ishni have a fleet in Ishtari. That's interesting. Well, it's not shocking, necessarily. I'm going to send the first fleet over to Tirsonia, and then the fourth fleet is going to make their way over to Ishtari. Now, that's going to take them a little while to get to. For the time being, we're just going to go here, and then we're going to jump drive most of the way. Cool. So this does mean that our army attacking Ish here is going to be possibly destroyed by this fleet. We'll see how long that ends up taking. And then these guys are going to arrive in Halamar
Spaceport lost.
reasonably shortly.
Colony conquered.
But we definitely want to finish up safe here. There we go. And head into Tranaka. So we're going to land on Stillhaven. Beautiful. Our general died. Not super shocking. And we've just about got Ish taken over. Unfortunately, that fleet is going to be a bit problematic for us. I assumed that all of their fleets had been destroyed, but apparently that was a faulty assumption. But it's fine. We'll get it handled. I don't think we'll be able to jump drive all the way to Ishtari here, unfortunately. We're currently in Terminal Egress, making our way down. And eventually we'll arrive here. But this is definitely going to be very awkward for this army. Not that this army is relevant to our future plans, to be honest. And they have a second fleet coming in here. Wild. I really didn't think they had 2 more fleets, especially not 2 fleets of this power level.
Colony conquered.
Okay, so looks like our forces are just staying on the planet. I'm okay with this. That's great.
Deploying Liberation
And yep, they have
forces.
another fleet popping up over here. So we're heading over In fact, I'm just going to, from here, jump drive into Tiersonia. There we go. So no problem there. Yeah, they've got a lot of fleets popping up out of nowhere. I have no idea where those fleets were. They must have just been missing. Wild timing on that.
Conquered.
Okay. So we finished up in Trinaka. We're going to head into Slurpactin. And that's going to be a little while here. First thing we're going to do is land on Shimmering Pearl. And then
Engaging enemy
Lurpenso.
fleet.
And then all of these up over here, which should go quite quickly. So that's good. Okay, as far as our jump drive here goes, is Ustir in range? Not quite, sadly. So we're going to have to go to Ridathi, which is still only one jump away. So that's okay. And of course, we are holding in Tiersonia. Fantastic. Okay, we lost an admiral. I don't really care too much about that. It's not this admiral, so that's what's important. These guys are coming up to Ridathi, which is kind of lucky for us. That does mean that we can intercept them reasonably easily. No problem really there at all. Excellent. So Slurpactin has very little left. We're going to land on
Deploying
Shimmering Pearl
liberation
right now.
forces.
And this is not looking particularly difficult. There's a revolt brewing on Jurgfidhun, which I wouldn't mind dealing with. Let's move the camera on over there, and let's see what we've got. 0 stability, mostly due to overcrowding? Okay. This should fix it, then. There's also the planetary revolt. Cool. So let's take a look at what we've got here. We can distribute amenities. I don't care about that. We've got plenty of consumer goods. Done. Okay. So that should be reasonably fine.
Colony conquered.
And let's hit the Slurprenor capital here now. Excellent. As far as this situation goes, we're definitely going to be jumping in with the 4th Fleet. Do we think we win this? Yes, we do. We do think we win this.
Deploying liberation forces.
Cool. Because they've got like 80, 90k. We've got 120k. Should be fine. In theory. In theory. So we are engaging on Slurpactin here. And that'll take a little while, but not too long. That'll be the longest of any of those. And we're just going to engage here. We should easily, or not necessarily easily, but we should win this. Relatively handily. Especially with how far we're fighting from the station. I love this positioning. This is really good. Now we're moving in and attacking the station, now that we've dealt with the vast majority of their ships over here. I think this is absolutely great target selection. Yeah, I'm really happy with the way that battle played out. And we're just going to leave this fleet here, of course. Cool. So looking at these engagements here, or this singular engagement, I should say, we've just about got Lurpenso taken over. And there we go. These guys can chill here. We can build any ships that we need to. And yeah, we're just going to enter orbit here. So this should now be fully our territory. In fact, we shouldn't need troops here at this point. If they're going to come back anywhere, it will be here. So we can head back to Shukan at this point. No problem there. As far as the Slurprenor go, all we need here is to take Lurpenso. 96 more. Fantastic. Almost done here. So we're all hitting this robot army, and it's just getting crushed.
Colony conquered.
Beautiful. So next up, we're going to, of course, head over and take these. Doesn't really matter what order we do this in. We just need to get all 3 of them. How's this revolt going? It's still progressing. I think we'll be fine, though. I'm not actually too concerned about this. All we really need here is to get this construction done, which will be done in 135 days. I'm also going to build a second city district just to be on the safe side. Where is this at? Oh, okay, the Slurprenor popped in here. Now, we were expecting that. We have this fleet good to go here. Did we land on Safe Harbor? Yes, we did. They have a Xeno army that they've disengaged. Okay, that's wild. Sure. All great. So Safe Harbor is about to finish up here. Just the one remaining robot army. And that's their current Empire capital, hilariously. Okay, they disengaged for some reason. There's no point in disengaging robot armies, in my opinion, but whatever. We'll go ahead and land on the Drifting Isle, which is now their capital again. And they're a little bit stronger here, but not by a whole huge margin. That's the term I'm looking for. Huge margin. Fantastic.
Deploying liberation forces.
So we're not quite ready at this point to land on Laura. We're close. Boy, that's quite a coalition fleet there. Oh my. Sure. We're not quite ready for that one. Drifting Isle is going to fall shortly. And then there's one remaining Slurprenor location. Cool. This clone army's morale is broken. So hitting the robots probably would have been best, and just fully killing the robots and then killing the clone army, but whatever. We can't really control it, so it's all good. And there we go.
Colony conquered.
Gleaming Shell is all that remains of the Slurprenor. And at this point, that should end before we finish taking over Laura. So let's go ahead and land on Laura here. And then there'll be like this unsurveyed system here, here, and here. There's some uncolonized locations. And then there's the Caravansary Caravan Coalition, which we can't actually do anything with them. So that's all completely fine. Excellent. So we're landing on Gleaming Shell. And this should be no more orders required to win this war. This battle will end very quickly and will result in the Slurprenor being fully annexed. Primarily by us. And that's fantastic. And then this, over here on Laura, will end a little bit later. And that will result in the Ishni being fully annexed by us. Or almost entirely by us. So the Slurprenor should no longer exist. We didn't get a pop-up about the Slurprenor being destroyed. But I'm pretty sure that they are. So if we look at the Ishni here. They owe favors to the Bill-Nock, hilariously. Yeah, their subject is no longer here. Beautiful. Okay, let's look at our last invasion here. This is it. With this, the galaxy has been liberated. They are now all free to vote, and of course, they're required to vote. Our planetary revolt is progressing. It's okay, we'll just have them vote. It's fine. It's fine. As long as we decide what they vote on and what their choices are, it doesn't matter. So it's all good. We're going to eliminate this backline here. I would like to take out this defense army, but that also is in the category of doesn't matter. So that is fantastic. And this should be it.
Colony conquered.
We seized a relic. Okay. And the Ishni are gone. As is the war. Beautiful. So at this point, that's it. That is the galaxy conquered by our Federation. Beautiful. Look at this. We are, of course, if we go into the Federation here, we are the League of Non-Aligned Powers. We never made it to level 5, which is kind of funny. But we are the League of Non-Aligned Powers. And as you can see, we are very non-aligned. The galaxy is entirely non-aligned. There are no aligned powers. There are only unaligned powers. I love it. So that's absolutely great. And that is another galaxy conquered. So at this point, there should already be a pull up for the successor to this series, whatever comes next. We'll see what that ends up being. I'm kind of feeling like maybe a KSP series. It's been a little while, but we'll see what you guys are thinking. For now, of course, it is time to put a cut in here. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings. And next episode, well, there isn't a next episode of this series. There will be a next episode of an all-new series in this time slot next time. And a very special thank you, this is a very awkward transition, I love it. A very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Casserole, JJ Gamer, ALS Gamer, Ken2In, Atala, Jensgram, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Video Games Are Not Real, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.